Happy Thursday! Welcome to Screen Junkies Universe. I am very excited to be joined today by Mr. Dan Murrell.
Hi.
Spencer Gilbert.
Roth, you back?
I'm back!
Nothing happened while you were gone.
Yeah.
Just don't even worry about it.
Don't watch those episodes.
What I heard was that Starr was a magnificent host, which does not surprise me because he is excellent, and that you two were, as always, brilliant and hilarious, and I thank you for doing all of the things. Today, we're going to add more brilliant hilarity. I'm counting on you, Dan.
Oh, boy.
So Daisy Ridley may be leaving after episode 9. Now, this doesn't really come as a huge surprise, I would imagine. In a larger article and interview with Rolling Stone, she sort of talked about wanting to be done after that. And her mind, it was 3 movies and she's out. She talked about the fact that she didn't really fully know what she was signing on for, which I don't think in a situation like that you really could ever fully know. But when asked about returning, she said, no, I'm really, really excited to do the 3rd thing and round it out, because ultimately what I was signing on to was 3 films. So in my head, it's 3 films and that's it. I feel like it's the right time to round it out. Now, of course, it's already been announced that this will be the end. J.J. Abrams has talked about this is the end of the Skywalker saga. So we'll have this movie, Jedi, and then episode 9, and that's the end of the Skywalker saga, and then we're gonna get 3 films that have nothing to do with it. So in a way, it's sort of like, I bet you would be done if you're a Skywalker.
Ooh. Oh, you're reading the tea leaves there.
I'm reading between my own imaginative lines. I don't know if that's true at all, but I would assume if she is connected to the Skywalker saga, and it's done, then she's also done with it, correct?
I don't know. I mean, you could have Rey in the next trilogy, because the pattern is you do a trilogy, then you do the prequel trilogy, then you do the new trilogy, then you do the prequel to the new trilogy, so she could just be a baby.
They could have Baby Rey.
Yeah,
Baby Rey.
Just Baby Rey.
Yeah.
Raby.
I mean, Raby. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I have mixed feelings on Star Wars continuing after this trilogy's over, so sure. I don't know.
Look, it's a big galaxy.
I'm glad that Rian Johnson's doing something new, so that would make sense that I love Daisy Ridley, and she's great in Force Awakens. I hope she continues to be great, but if she's done, she's done. Good for her.
Yeah, I'm sure if you empty out the pockets of the galaxy a long time ago, far time away or whatever, you can find a bunch more Skywalkers hanging around. There's Uncle Morty.
Oh, Morty Skywalker.
Yeah, old Mort Skywalker.
You're gonna catch your death.
He's hilarious.
Put your cloak back on.
He's
Judd
so
Hirsch in a Jedi robe. Make it
With a bus full of younglings.
You can just never trust him to say the right thing, though. You know what I mean? He's just always so inappropriate.
Yeah.
She did talk about potentially coming back down the line, like her co-stars have. She said, who knows? I honestly feel like it may end up in the next 30 years. So if in 30 years we're not living underground in a series of interconnected cells, which obviously we will be, then sure.
That's an actual quote.
I like this question just because if you had asked Harrison Ford this after Empire, he would have probably pushed you out a window. Like, you coming back in 50 years? And he just would have, like, glared at you. Like, he wouldn't have even answered. He just would have glared for 20 minutes of just unbroken eye contact.
I just feel bad. I really do for these franchise actors, because like it's a job for them, and like it's already starting for Daisy Ridley. It's like she's only done 1. She's got 2 more to go, and they're already like, but are you coming back in 30 years, huh? It's like, this is gonna be the next 30 years of her life. It doesn't matter what movie she does, every interview she does from now on, some ass clown is going to ask her about, like, but are you going to go back to Star Wars?
I do think that she's the most likely.
Let her get these 2 done.
Oscar Isaac is already kind of like a big star, but of the new characters, she's probably the most likely to have like more franchises, other breakout roles. To me, just of the new additions, I think she'll be the Harrison Ford that gets her Indiana Jones second franchise.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, she was up for Tomb Raider, actually. And then
Alicia Vikander's kind of in her lane. She's gonna have to knock her out.
She's just gonna have to. I think that's just gonna have to be done. Like, that's full, like Tanya Harding style, just kneecap her, right?
Boom, with
Get
that
it
staff.
done.
Yeah.
Get it done with the staff.
But Vikander's got the Oscar, so that's tough. She's got an edge already.
Ridley's got it. Daisy's got to get that Oscar, and then just kneecap her. Well, she might have to kneecap her to get the Oscar. Some people think that this might be like a negotiation tactic, like Robert Downey Jr. with the Marvel. Nope. Okay.
No, I think she might be done.
I think those people are wrong.
I think there's a few people that have been able to sort of escape like franchise stink. Like I think Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe have been able to do it. I think they've successfully gotten to a point where at least most like junket interviews are not gonna like drop Harry Potter questions on them. Like
not ours.
Not at ours. But yeah, he's played a farting corpse now, and she
very
does
well.
Yeah, very well, and she does UN adult things. So I mean,
she's been making interesting, and I think you're right. That's a good comparison. Daniel Radcliffe has made very interesting choices, and since he's played Harry Potter, but he's actually pretty cool about it. You know, I think he's really like. He's not as resistant as some actors might be. I was so delighted, and Spencer will understand how much I flipped my stuff. Being able to interview him a couple of Comic-Cons ago twice. A, he is the coolest person. B, he also loves Sharknadoes and Asylum. He comes in and he was like, oh, do you know who's next door? Do you know who's next door? And I'm like, who? And he's like, it's Tara Reid and Ian Ziering for Sharknado. This is awesome. And he's like, I'm like, you're Daniel Radcliffe. But he was on this balcony and all these people were trying to take a picture of him and calling out for Harry Potter. And instead of being resentful about it, he turned around and smiled and waved and he was like, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? And made sure every person was satisfied. That's been my random segue for the day, but my point with that is that he's actually pretty cool about it. I don't think he does feel resistant to talking about Harry Potter. I think when you ask him, like, would you come back? He's like, I don't know. Like,
yeah. It's funny you sort of mention like them not realizing what they signed on for when they get cast, because I feel like these kids actually like reach out and support each other. When I got to talk with the New Mutants cast, it seemed like Maisie Williams had settled in as like the old veteran, which is hilarious because she's the youngest. But you know, because a lot of them, this is their first breakout role and they're in a superhero comic book movie, and she's just kind of like, oh, okay, we got to prepare you guys, you sweet, sweet summer children.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, winter's coming, Comic-Con's coming, you're not ready.
I feel like the only people who get to use the I don't know what I signed on for are like Mark
Little
Hamill.
kids.
Mark Hamill truly did not know what he signed on for. I feel like if you get cast in the new Star Wars movie, you kind of know what you signed on for. Or
unless you're a baby.
Unless you're a child, yes. Unless you're like an infant child whom you didn't even sign on for anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your Lohan parents signed you on.
Yeah. I mean, it may be more intense than you imagine, but I think that most people now should hopefully be prepared that if you sign on for one of these, it is greatly to your benefit, most likely, unless you're poor Hayden Christensen. Or even poor Ahmed Best, who I'm sure thought he signed on for the role of a lifetime. But most people, I think, should know that you're
what you're in for.
What you're in for.
I'd be curious about that because think about it from Daisy Ridley's perspective. When she's talked about it before, she had no connection to these movies. She's just not, she wasn't a huge Star Wars fan. Like her fangirling was around Madeline, according to her. And so and then add to that, if she thought about the most recent editions, to your point, she would be thinking maybe like Natalie Portman, right? No one associates Natalie Portman with Star Wars at all. So maybe she thought like she could be in that lane. I don't think so, because Rey has become too much like Luke and Leia, and that she will be associated.
She's just in it to use her Star Wars money to get that Madeline reboot going.
Yeah. This is a grand plan.
Madeline's in London.
I'm so confused. That's not Matilda. That's a different thing. Okay, who's Madeline?
She's a Parisian schoolgirl with a bunch of other Parisian schoolgirls, and they.
And no, you're right.
Matilda's like the telekinetic one.
Broadway.
Was Madeline from Paris, or did they just go to Paris? It's been a long time since I was in elementary school. It's not Amelie.
What's the whimsical French schoolgirl expanded universe? Someone lay it out for me.
Well,
where does Paddington Bear fit in?
Okay. Segue into the fact that Paddington 2 is coming, and I said something so dumb on one of our videos where I was like, they're working on Paddington. It's like out in London, and it's coming here, and I'm so excited because here's my plug again for Paddington. It's delightful. If you haven't seen Paddington, you absolutely should.
He's a bear in a raincoat. What's not to love?
He's a bear in a raincoat who loves honey honey sandwiches, and he is a delight, and Paddington 2 is coming. Let us ask ourselves this about the Star Wars trilogy.
By the way, if you see an actual bear in a raincoat, there's a lot not to love, and you should not run from that bear. I feel like legally we need to get that out there just so people know. Yeah.
Disclaimer, do not approach the bear.
Cinematically, there's nothing not to love about a bear in a raincoat.
At least not without a honey sandwich. This is the last question I will ask about Star Wars. Do you think any characters, Dan is like so done with this conversation. He's like, do we have to talk about Star Wars? Do you think any characters will carry over into the Rian Johnson?
There's only one character from Star Wars The Last Jedi I'm interested in seeing move into trilogies and spin-offs and TV shows.
I love this answer.
And that is, she has an action figure, that's all I know about her, but that is Paige Resistance Gunner. It is. Okay. She is a Star Wars action figure. It is such a very specific name for a random just background.
It's like a name and a job title?
That's her name. Yeah.
Paige.
Like, some people are just like pilot, mechanic, but she's Paige, Resistance Gunner, and I have so many questions about her and 12 movies.
The toy company CEO stepdaughter Paige.
I want a doll!
Fine. Just respect me and call me Dad. You're a Resistance Gunner now.
At the rate we're going, get ready for Gunner, a Star Wars story coming 2027.
Super into it.
Yeah.
And that also confirms my theory that Resistance Gunner is her last name.
Resistance Gunner.
Yeah. Resistance is my middle name.
That goes along with my theory that the Jonas Brothers, their last name is actually Brothers. Nice to meet you, Mr. Brothers. It was better in here than out there. I own that. You're right. It was better in here. You know what is definitely coming to an end and has come to an end? The Dark Universe.
No. Pour one out.
But you know what it could have been? Guillermo del Toro's Dark Universe. So he just did an interview with the New York Times for The Shape of Water, which I'm very excited to see. Dan, I think we're going to see that tonight. We'll have a review tomorrow.
I think so.
And he said that the one thing that he regretted turning down was actually an opportunity to head up the Dark Universe for Universal in 2007. So let us just imagine what that might have been if he had been in charge of it. I mean, The Shape of Water will certainly give us a sense of it because that's basically his Creature from the Black Lagoon story. What do you think the specific differences would have been?
It would have been good.
Yeah. I think. It would have been prettier.
Probably. Yeah.
Would have been a lot prettier.
Would have been darker.
That
universe.
Definitely. I mean, the idea that he said that's the only thing that I regret that he didn't do something was that to me says that he had some ideas that he was like, oh man,
yeah. I mean that
wish I would have done that.
That's his wheelhouse. I mean, he has like a second house that's just full of his monster stuff.
Yeah,
he has. So he goes to Monsterpalooza every year, and they let him go in before it opens for like 2 hours, and he just buys out the place and like buys monster business, and then takes it to the Monster Palace that he lives in, which I am dying to go to.
Do you go to the exhibit when he was here with all of his monster crap?
I missed it.
It's pretty cool.
I missed it, and I'm so upset.
They had a photo of his living room. Yeah, Guillermo del Toro's Monster Crap. No, but they had like the Pan's Labyrinth thing, and they had like all of his...
Oh, no, I did go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
They had like a photo of his like grand hall entrance, and like he lives like an eternal vampire. Like forget Tommy Wiseau. Like this guy has amassed just a collection of like leather-bound tomes and candelabras and various sundries. And it's just like it's a cool. It looks like you're inside a Guillermo del Toro movie when you walk into his house.
Yeah, I did go to that exhibit, and then I had an old colleague who was actually able to go to his house and describe. He was like, "There's a rain room." I'm like, what does that even mean? There's a room where it rains,
blood.
Like magic.
It rains blood.
Now, in my heart, Rob Zombie lives next door, and they are constantly competing for the most monstery house.
Yeah, but Rob Zombie's is different. It's like the effed up trailer park version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, much trashier. Yeah, much more weird and southern and chainsaw.
More guts.
Walls. Yeah.
He doesn't have a rain room. He has a gut room.
He has a gut room. Reading between the lines is the only thing I repent not doing. That's the only thing. What I'm hearing when he says that is, eat it, Bilbo. I'm over it.
Interesting.
Because there was once upon a long, long time ago going to be Guillermo del Toro's The Hobbit. 2 movies, right? 2?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
2,
anyway, 2. I kind of feel like that was probably for. I mean,
Yeah, what did he make between 2007 and now that we
Pacific
wouldn't have
Rim.
gotten?
Pacific
I love that.
Rim.
which I love.
Yeah.
Crimson thing.
Crimson Peak,
Crimson
which I
Peak.
didn't
That's
see,
the one.
actually. Produced The Strain,
Yeah.
which I have not seen
It's
either.
not that
It's
great.
fine.
It's all right.
And then
It's
you have
not
Shape of
aggressive.
Water.
And the
Shape of the Water.
yeah.
He was also in talks back and forth to do Justice League Dark.
Just that fell apart because of the writer's strike.
Yeah.
It seems like the world is populated more with interesting projects that Guillermo del Toro didn't
Doesn't
do
do?
than it is like The Hobbit, Justice League Dark, the Universal Dark Monster universe. Like somewhere, Guillermo del Toro rules Hollywood in some timeline that I kind of wish we were all in.
That's what I was just going to say. Like, I want to go to the alternate universe where all of those things happened.
Yeah, and see them.
And the best stuff from the first Hobbit movie is the Guillermo holdover stuff, because he was doing pre-production for a long time before he left. So like the Goblin Town is pure Guillermo del Toro. There's not a Tracy Peter Jackson in that guy singing and dancing and getting his gut stabbed with a sword. Like the cool visual stuff from that movie was all del Toro, to me anyway. Because it looked different from the last 9 hours of Lord of the Rings that I had seen.
Yeah. It's interesting that he said that to me, like, because he has said that Swamp Thing is his favorite.
Yeah.
Which, so I was surprised that this is the thing that he most regrets not being able to do, but maybe he just means that he turned it down.
That he turned down. Yeah, I think
Versus-
it's probably. I was being a little flippant. I'm sure he means that he turned down doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to,
Well, if I could bring us to the wormhole into the universe where Del Toro gets to do everything that he wants, I would, but I can't. But you know what I can do? I can introduce us to bad movies, so bad that they're good. Our own Hal Rudnick went to do the junket for The Disaster Artist. You can actually watch some of that. It's on the ScreenJunkies OG channel right now, and it's very funny stuff. But he also talked to them about their favorite bad movies. Have you guys everybody seen The Room?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you all seen The Room? I'm assuming that's a yes. Let us watch Hal.
Oh.
The Disaster Artist celebrates The Room, obviously one of the, probably the ultimate so bad it's good movie.
Yes.
And
pretty much.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other like movies that are just like guilty pleasure watches?
Point Break. Like you want to feel guilty about that, but I just watched it again like 2 weeks ago. It's an incredible
it's so
movie.
good.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not embarrassed to say it. I
Exactly.
watch it.
Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
Do you guys have any other movies that are like kind of a guilty pleasure that are widely kind of panned that you're like, no, this is great in its own?
Oh, I am a big fan of Sleepaway Camp.
Oh yeah,
Sleepaway Camp.
we watched that as kids a lot. Yeah.
Well, it's a crazy movie. It's
It's a
kind of
crazy
like
movie.
a really dark version of Wet Hot American Summer, where the main character that you're following the entire film is at the very end very publicly revealed she's a woman and then revealed to be a boy.
God, she's a boy.
Yes.
And you see it in full frontal nudity at the end. It's an insane film.
Yes.
That sounds problematic.
Oh, it's problematic
That's the
on multiple
tip of the
levels.
iceberg.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Problematic on multiple levels. Yeah.
So, first of
Gotta
all,
check that out.
I've seen Sleepaway Camp many times, and it is as amazing as described as these gentlemen. First of all, I want to hear your favorite bad movies. Is it The Room?
I mean, The Room is up there. I always talk about The Happening. How much I love The Happening. Birdemic. Shock. I believe it's called Shock and Awe or Shock and Terror. I forget which one. It might be Shock and Terror. Anyway, Birdemic. Find it. Amazing bad movie. Yeah, I don't know. The really good bad movies are so few and far between. I feel like you just have to treasure the ones that you have because they don't come around. Like, and I'm not talking about like Sharknado. Like those are trying to be bad, and I hate that. Like I was like, oh, look how bad this is. Like, no, it just comes off as stupid. Like the first Sharknado, they didn't know it was going to be that bad. That's why people liked it, and now they're just doing like 8 different sequels of like, how shitty can we make this one? It's like, no, it's not how it works. You know, so annoying.
Daniel Radcliffe has a bone to pick with that assessment. Because he loves those
Because he
movies.
loves those. There's a series of ninja movies from the 70s and 80s where a couple of American actors signed on to do one ninja movie. They shot their movie, and then the producers split those scenes up across like 10 like cheap Filipino martial arts movies and just inserted them into these pre-existing terrible films. and they're absolutely just bonkers and incredible. The best of which is called Cobra versus Ninja, and you can find it on YouTube. It's amazing.
Is it an actual cobra? Do they fight a cobra?
Oh no, it is an Australian. Oh,
I think they have Cobra money. No,
it's an Australian ninja named Cobra. Yeah.
All right.
No, all right. Yeah.
Mine also features ninjas.
Damn right.
I'd have to recommend probably a movie called The Miami Connection.
Oh, again, Spencer always takes my thing.
Okay, I'll do a different one.
Do that one. That's
Okay,
fine.
well, Miami Connection is about a touring rock synth 80s band that also practices Taekwondo as a group, and they tour from city to city, ridding towns of ninja crime, but also
As you
rocking
do.
out.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, and
Super real.
they have this badass song called "Against the Ninja" with like karate breaks in the song. It's like "Against the Ninja," ha, 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 dun, 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 dun. Like it just.
I love that
it's great.
It takes the classic trope of the song over the end credits that explains the plot and makes that a thing that characters sing.
Yes,
like that's amazing.
The characters do that.
Yeah.
One other one. It's got an alternate title that I think it was actually released under, but it's called, I think you can find it online as Get Even, which is the words get even, but combined.
I just wrote Get Even. I just wrote Get Even down on my paper.
I don't know what
which
this is.
very room-like in the sense that this guy was a trial attorney.
LA trial attorney.
And he's
yeah.
like, I'm going to star in a movie, and decided that he would just Tommy Wiseau himself into a film. And it's like more like raunchy and violent than The Room. Like, I feel way worse for the poor female actresses that had to take their clothes off and make out with this guy, which seems like half what he was trying to do. But the rest of it, he's going, his partner is going undercover with a satanic baby murdering cult, and like he is like the one man like super cop that's gonna take it down. This guy, he's a little out of shape. He's got a mustache. He is not your leading man material, but man, he just put himself in like a peak Stallone movie that he himself wrote. There's a big line dancing sequence that comes in.
I'm watching this today. I've never heard of this.
How
did I miss this?
Get Even.
Getevene in one word.
Get Even. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, but it's by some other title too. But you can find it by searching for Get Even.
I'm sold on all of that. Yeah, Miami Connection is awesome. If you have not seen
That's
it,
on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, you can go watch that right now. After you finish watching this, I highly recommend that you do. I always liked really cheesy, bad horror movies. Like I've seen Sleepaway Camp, and I've seen like there was one Slumber Party Massacre was also a favorite with the driller killer who was an Elvis impersonator who had a drill on the end of his guitar.
Sure.
Which was amazing. There's one called Pieces that I won't even bother to describe, but I encourage you to find Pieces and check it out. But I like Daniel Radcliffe. The thing that we have in common besides Harry Potter is I love the Asylum movies. Like I love Piranaconda and all of the Asylum, like the terrible genetically engineered water beast movies. There's a movie coming out called Meg.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is the Megalodon.
Yeah.
Right? Based on the
With
book.
Jason Statham.
With Jason Statham, which I cannot wait for. It is going to be amazing. So a Megalodon is like a massive shark that's like the size of a boat. And Jason Statham is in it. And Ruby Rose is in it. And it's going to be amazing. And Deep Blue Sea is the greatest
Odds
comedy
that
ever
he
made.
kicks the shark in the nose.
Kick ya.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
If they're
Definitely.
doing it right.
Yeah.
I love those shark movies.
Asylum's a little too they're the Sharknado. They're a little too self-aware for me at this point. Like
Fair.
they started off as schlocky, cheap knockoffs, and now they're just like leaning into it way too hard. Like I agree. Some of their old ones where they were like Transmorphers and the ones where they're just like, hey, let's fool grandmothers who can't see clearly at the video store renting videos for their grandkids. I get it, but now it's just like they're trying way too hard to be schlocky, and like that's just boring. Like when you watch a movie and it's like obvious that they're trying to be outraged, there's nothing worse than people who are famous because they're bad at making things trying then to be bad and funny, and it just comes off as
But we love Tommy.
No, that's.
But Tommy didn't think he was making anything bad.
Yeah, I know.
Tommy thought he was making a masterpiece, and that's what makes the
with
room
the passion of
amazing.
Tennessee Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did.
No, I mean, if I can just sell you on an opening shot of an Australian ninja saying, "I won't stop until I'm the best ninja around," and then another ninja who looks like Matt Stone saying, "No, the best ninja right now is Gordon," and completely meaning it, then
I'm 100% sold on
intrigued.
all of those things. I would say that you should go back and check out Ghost Shark.
I have seen Ghost Shark.
Have you seen Ghost Shark?
Yeah, it comes out of a hose.
It comes out. So it's a dead shark that can still attack you like it's alive, but it can go through any water. So like a hose.
Oh no.
Like it puts the lotion in the basket or it gets the
Ghost Shark again. Yeah.
But I watched this and it's so ridiculous and it's so bad. And yet I went swimming in a pool that night after I watched it, and the whole time I was like,
Ghost Shark.
Pool's full of ghost sharks.
"Pool's full of ghost sharks.
Tired
I'm
of
gonna
these
die
ghost sharks."
terribly." I think we've learned a lot today.
Is this in Hawaii?
With The Rock. The Rock's
With
like,
The
you know, you
Rock.
gotta watch out for these ghost sharks.
And The Rock's like, "I got you, girl. I'm not gonna let those sharks." The Rock would never let a ghost shark get me.
No. Otherwise, he wouldn't be The Rock.
Exactly.
It's true.
The Rock. We'll talk about The Rock soon when we do talk about Jumanji. Today, I think we've learned a lot of important things. One of which is that we hope Rian Johnson goes full weird. New cast of characters in the next 3 Star Wars movies. 2, there is an alternate universe that's full of Guillermo del Toro's dream projects.
Yeah. Where he's
And-
the hostman, the spokesperson for Hanes sweatpants.
Yes, that's the twist that you
Yeah.
didn't see coming about that
Yeah.
universe.
He wears most of them. He wears the most of them in the world. Just make him the face of them.
Does he wear a lot of?
That man wears a lot of sweatpants. He used to just walk around on the Warner lot just in sweatpants at all times.
Oh, really? It's
Look,
like- this
if
is
you're
like-
Del Toro, do it. You know?
This is like inside joke.
Yeah, wow.
information. Yeah, I didn't
a
know
lot of
that.
sweatpants on that man.
Yeah.
I associate him with sweatpants more than films.
I think
I've
it's just a level of wealth and influence where you just only wear sweatpants for the rest of your life.
I would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan?
I don't know. I like a nice, comfortable jean.
Okay.
Personally, a breathable denim is always nice. I've never been much of a sweatpants guy. What are we doing?
We're talking about the fact that if we were rich enough,
Movies, Dan.
we could wear
Yeah,
pajama jeans.
Talking about movies or something? There was a kernel of it somewhere. I don't remember.
Well, it's good to be back. Thanks for holding down the fort, and I'm glad to bring us back to pajama pants. And thank you guys for joining us today. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Please do, as always, be nice to each other, because as Joe and the late Patrick Swayze say,
Be nice.
Be nice.
yeah, no, it's just basically, that's the whole message.
Literally
be
it.
nice. Literally it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Back off, War Child. He also said.
Breaking man's knee, don't stick like a stone.
He did say the not be nice thing, though.